Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 8th episode of the Prosperity Project. My name is Braeden Turner, and today I have two special guests.
Hi, I'm William Simpfendorfer.
Hi, I'm Alex Weeks.
And we are all peer members of Sources of Strength. So today in this podcast, we're kind of just going to talk about what Sources of Strength is, what kind of the idea of Sources of Strength is built upon, if you guys are interested in it, how you can join it, and all that stuff. So yeah, you guys ready?
Yeah.
So a lot of you guys are probably wondering what the Sources of Strength might be. That's obviously like a pretty important question. So Will, what is it to you at least?
To me, Sources of Strength is a safe environment that I can, talk to other people about and try and spread mental health awareness within my school community. And what do you think about it,
Yeah, it's really effective as a suicide prevention program and just a way to kind of support yourself and your peers.
Yeah, I think it's just like a very positive environment in school oriented towards providing a safe place for kids, not only to go, but to create activities for other people to enjoy as well, so that our school is a more positive, protective place to prevent suicide. So the actual definition on the website is Sources of Strength is a universal suicide prevention program designed to build socio-ecological protective influences around youth and to reduce the likelihood that vulnerable youth/young adults will become suicidal. So that's a little bit more in-depth than our answers,
Yes.
But it's basically the same idea. So yeah.
So here at LP, what Sources of Strength looks like is a group of students that meets weekly. We usually meet during lunch on Wednesdays. And we plan events and activities around the school to improve the environment and the connection between the students and the adults, and just aim to move the school environment towards a more positive, healthy direction.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, like Alex said, every week, Wednesday, we show up, and you can go for either lunch if you have first or second. It doesn't matter, but we meet with like 20-ish students and then a couple adult mentors almost, and we kind of just talk about what we can do to improve the environment in our school and make it a more healthy environment.
Yeah. And for me, I feel like everything's super laid back. Like I can go in there and everyone is my friend and cares about me. And like I feel like that differentiates from many other clubs.
And I also think it's like you can almost rely on everyone there because you can tell everyone wants to be there and they realize how important it is. So it's like everyone wants to participate, and everyone really enjoys what they're doing. So yeah, it's just a very positive environment. So another question is, what do Sources of Strength base their ideas upon? And I'm sure you guys have probably seen around the school or online or somewhere, the wheel. It's a rainbow colored and it's got 8 different sources of strength that you can kind of draw your own strengths from to improve your life. So do you want to dive into some of those?
Sure. So looking at the wheel, there's the red section, which is mental health. Obviously, that's a big component of Sources of Strength because that's kind of one of the main ways we aim to improve our community. And then orange is family support, yellow is positive friends, and green is mentors. So those are all kind of focusing on the people in our lives that can help us and be our source of strength.
Yeah, and the rest of these are not people that help you and provide you a source. It's more the things you do and your actions, which include the blue slice as healthy activities, the gray slice as generosity, and the purple slice is spirituality, and the light blue slice is physical health.
Yeah, and so important thing to remember is that there's 8 different aspects, or 8 different slices, but it's not necessary to have all of them. And I'm sure many of us don't actually have all of them. But the idea behind Sources of Strength is that like the more you have, and the more you kind of reinforce each individual slice in your life, the stronger you'll be, and the healthier, happier life hopefully you can live and inspire others. So I think I can confidently say I probably have 6 of these pretty well. I'm probably lacking in a couple areas, but I think most people can agree. I assume you guys as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about 6, but I definitely do have probably half the wheel.
Okay, yeah, and it depends, but as long as you have like a solid foundation, and there's plenty of things you can look up for individual ones that you want to improve upon, like spirituality. That's something I think I want to improve upon. But let's say you want to improve upon like generosity, like you could join a volunteering program at a school or NHS. I'm sure Alex can kind of support that idea. But I don't know. I think understanding that it's hard to achieve all of these, but at least having a solid foundation behind you is what Sources of Strength is all about.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So a big part of my Sources of Strength wheel is positive friends. I like to surround myself with people who can like support me when I need it, or who can make me laugh and feel safe. Just people who are really honest and genuine when I'm around them. I think it's important to put your energy into relationships that help your mental health. So when I'm with my friends, I always can feel comfortable and it doesn't feel draining. And so that's really a main way that I kind of choose who I spend my time with. I know that I can always like go to parties with them, but I can also just chill and like do homework or just text the other person when I need some help. So yeah, what about you guys?
Yeah, for me, obviously I do have those positive friends that help me, but I would say the most important one for me is healthy activities, and specifically music, whether it be playing my instrument or listening to Amazon Music or Spotify. I feel like music in a life that can often be stressful is an escape where I always have this one thing that I can just focus on, specifically that, and drop everything else. And I feel like without music, my last couple years of my life would have been dreadful. Like from having COVID to having a career-ending injury that put me on crutches for 4 months, and essentially stopped me playing basketball. Music was always there for me to provide me strength.
So it's like music has almost built like a strong foundation for you to lean back on.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. So yeah. And I think mine, I don't know if it's my most important, but one that I very much value and I think I have a strong foundation of is generosity. Sometimes when I need to get out of the house or I feel like I need to give back to my community, I usually do that through a program we have called Key Club at LPHS. It's a volunteering program. And I think just the idea of going out and helping a community that has provided so much for us who have grown up here for a long time, I think it's just very redeeming, and also just improves my self-esteem through kind acts and connecting with the community. I've met so many amazing adults and teenagers that I've built connections with since. So it's like by building that basic foundation of generosity, it's allowed me to create a lot of positive connections and just improve my life as a whole. So
yeah.
One question you might be having, if you are considering joining Sources of Strength, is like, what do we do here at our school besides just trying to create like a positive environment? Like, what are some actual tangible actions that you can see at our school? And so, if you want to join into that.
So, a question that a lot of you guys may have is like, what is our specific experiences within Sources of Strength? And I feel like that's a very important part of trying to get people to join. And for me, Sources of Strength has meant a lot to me, and I've been able to really become self-aware of my mental health, and through that I've been able to improve it. And just helping the community around you really means a lot to me, and it's been very beneficial to my life that is pretty stressful.
For me, I know a big part, I kind of already mentioned something similar, but a big part is just being able to kind of connect with people who you might not connect with otherwise, or connect with adults who can really give you a different perspective on what the environment at the school is like for them, and because a lot of times we all get kind of in our own world with our classes and our clubs and stuff, but Sources of Strength is, for me, a really great way to see oh, who else is struggling with the same thing I am, or what are other problems in the school that can be addressed that the students are talking about, but maybe the adults and teachers aren't aware of. So that's a big part for me.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is just that there's a very obvious sense of community, and I feel like everybody feels like they're part of something very important. And it means a lot knowing that you, along with all the people around you, are working towards something to improve the environment we're at, 5 to 7 days a week. And having the teachers behind our back has been also very important to me, because not only has it allowed us to do more because of their influence and power, but it also just allows us to build connections with adults we otherwise might not have. And I've seen that those connections have proved to be very important to me with some of the adult supervisors. So I think anyone can make a different reason for why it's important to them, but I think overall it's just a very, very healthy, positive environment that's working towards something that can help everybody. So yeah, it's very valuable. So, with all this information, you're probably wondering, hopefully wondering at least, how can I join Sources of Strength? And this is pretty easy. Anyone, if you're interested, you're more than welcome to join.
We're always looking for new members.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if you're interested at all, I would recommend reaching out to our school social worker, Miss Sell, or our principal, Mrs. O'Connor, or even your respective grade counselors to join. We sometimes have counselors. Actually, I think every meeting we've had a counselor come into our meeting. So it doesn't matter who it is. I think they'll understand your interests and help you out there. So yeah, just reach out to one of those adult supervisors. And yeah, I think anyone's willing to join. So
yeah, and we're super welcoming of anyone new. We always look for new people to join, and the counselors who are there also really want as many people as possible to join.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing, is that you can never have enough people, because more hands on deck, the bigger impact we can have on our school community. So yeah. With that being said, I want to transition into something we do every podcast, and it's just a list of resources that are very valuable to anyone in need of mental health assistance, or you're going through a hard time. And here's just a list of some things you can either reach out to or join if you want to make a difference in your community. So our first one, it's a local resource. It's Pikes Peak Suicide Prevention Program. It's a community in the Pikes Peak region oriented towards spreading awareness of mental health and suicide prevention through resources, events, and training like QPR, which is question, persuade, and refer when someone has suicidal thoughts. So they also have a teen advocacy board if you want to join and make a difference in the community. Me and Alex have been part of that. Alex has been part of it much longer than I have. But yeah, we're both part of that, and it's pretty valuable. So,
speaking of programs that both me and Braeden are a part of, there's the SO Coalition, which stands for the Social Emotional Wellness Coalition of the Tri-Lakes area. It's just another good way to get involved in the monument and the surrounding area. We partner with Pikes Peak Suicide Prevention and NAMI and Kiwanis and a lot of different local businesses. We're oriented towards teenage mental health and suicide prevention, although we are really all-encompassing with our goals in terms of social emotional wellness. So you can also reach out to Mrs. O'Connor or Mrs. Sell if you're interested in helping with the SO Coalition. There's also the website that you can look up online and join that way.
Yeah. In addition to SO and PPSPP, there's another program called NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and NAMI partners with PPSPP and SO to provide programs that can improve mental health in communities, and provide resources to people who are going through mental health crises.
Yeah, another local resource that's very unique to Colorado and something that's just very valuable, and I hope you guys will take advantage of if you're in need of help, is Colorado Crisis Services. They offer immediate help to issues regarding substance abuse, sexual/identity issues, depression, anxiety, and more. Sometimes calling can be overwhelming, but you can also text talk TALK in all caps to 38255 for free confidential professional help 24/7. And then another very, very important resource, or more just like a directory for a plethora of resources, is the Lewis Palmer School District Counseling page. This is just a great directory source to find extensive resources from both local to national scales.
A broader resource that is not just through the Monument area is the 988, which is the National Crisis and Suicide Prevention Hotline. You can get immediate online support. I believe you can text and call, but support from a trained professional for absolutely any problem if you're contemplating suicide or if you just need someone to talk to. That's a great resource.
I think that just about wraps up this podcast episode. I hope you guys enjoyed listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, if you guys are willing to check out our Google forum, the survey, it means a lot. And all the feedback is appreciated. We look at that often. And you guys can help kind of guide what we should talk about next, or if you want to be on the podcast as well. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys.
Bye-bye.